Well, the memes are about to become real life, and I think it's a bad idea. Donald Trump is going to go to Springfield, Ohio. I kid you not. What's he going to do? Take selfies with the ducks in the ponds? Kiss the geese? Smooch up with the fluffies as they roll through the streets of Springfield, Ohio? What are we going to do here? What are we going to get out of this?
He should go to a Haitian restaurant and just be a normal guy.
That's
what he should do.
That would be something. That reminds me of the Trump photo from 2016 on Cinco de Mayo when he posted a photo of himself eating a taco bowl at Trump Tower. And he goes, "I love the Mexican people." And he's doing like a double thumbs up, eating a taco bowl on Cinco de Mayo back in 2016. Gosh, those were the good old days, weren't they? Seems so simple compared to the times we find ourselves in right now. So Trump is doing a big rally in Nassau County, Long Island last night. Now, this is an area where I've got family. Wife's from there. And I'll tell you what, we were visiting over the summer. I saw more people in that part of New York with Trump flags and Trump gear than I see here in the Kansas City area. I kid you not. It's pretty amazing what's happening in that part of that very blue state. Of course, it's right outside of Donald Trump's hometown. He does a big rally there. And here's what he announced last night.
And you know what? They've got to get much tougher. I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Springfield and I'm going to Aurora. You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield. I'm leading in Ohio by like 15 points, a lot. And we're going to take care of Ohio, and we're going to take care of Colorado, and we're going to take care of every single state in the union. They're all under siege. A lot of people don't talk about.
Okay, so he's going to go to Springfield, Ohio, where, of course, you know, you've got all the drama around the cats and the ducks and everything else, what's happening, what's not happening. And then he's going to go to Aurora, Colorado, where you have had migrant street gangs take over poorly run apartment complexes. I'm fine with the Aurora deal. That makes sense to me to some extent. But the Springfield trip, I don't understand. I mean, if I'm going to go somewhere to highlight the migrant crisis and the impact that it's had on the American people, I would go to the place or places where you have had really heinous things happen to American citizens, like Athens, Georgia, University of Georgia, where the young girl, Laken Riley, lost her life going out for a run to somebody who was in the country illegally. And by the way, Georgia is also a swing state. Ohio is a state that Trump is going to win by like 15 points. Maybe it's 10. I don't know. But it's going to be double digits. Think about how powerful that would be. Instead, if you go to Springfield, the media is going to do the whole mockery thing, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But what's going to come out of it exactly? There's not going to be some investigation. There's not going to be some new information. It's not a swing state. And it's a story that still has a lot of holes to it and gray area to it. Now, I know people have said things at city council meetings, and the city manager has said he's heard complaints about this. But there's still, let's just admit it, there's still a lot of gray area in that story. There is no gray area in the story of Laken Riley. And you're hitting a key part of a key swing state in the process. Now, maybe you do both, but let's be honest. If the guy goes to Springfield, that's all anybody's going to talk about, right? That's the only thing that people are going to make as part of their conversation. Cable news, everything else, social media is going to be buzzing about it. And for what purpose? What comes out of it? I mean, the memes are going to become real life, by the way. I mean, I could see Trump holding up a cat, like doing the old Lion King Simba. Like, I could see him doing that. That'd actually be hysterical if he did do that. But something tells me that's not going to happen with Trump and Fluffy.
Needs to be one of those orange tabby cats.
Oh, that would be great. So outside of it being like entertaining, what does it accomplish? And I'm sorry, but like I'm past the, well, that would be entertaining part of the campaign. There's 40 days left. Every single thing that should be done should be about one thing and one thing only, and that's winning on November 5th. Trust me, if I was just sitting here saying I want what's best for the show, please go to Springfield. Trust me, I'll get a day's worth of content out of it. It'll be outstanding. It'll be funny. There'll be memes for days. We'll have audio clips like you've never heard before, talking about the cats and the ducks and the geese. But what are we accomplishing when it comes to winning? Frankly, the only places that Donald Trump should be spending any of his time are Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, North Carolina. That's 6. I might be missing one. Nevada, if you want to throw that in there. That's it. I don't need him in New York. It's not happening. I don't need him in Ohio. That's a lock. Colorado, yeah, okay, I get it. You kind of tell a story there about illegal immigrants taking over apartment complexes. But, man, I think there are more effective and efficient ways to tell the stories that need to be told in key parts of the country over the next 40 days. We don't live in an area where it matters. Like, we just don't. Kansas and Missouri, there's a reason these guys aren't coming here, right? You're not going to hear from Timmy Boy or Kamala or Trump or JD. None of them are going to be here. I mean, JD was here for a fundraiser a couple of weeks ago, but that's about it. Every single move, every single thing for the next 40 days should be about one thing and one thing only, and that's the swing states leading up to November 5. And please don't misinterpret this as me wanting to be critical or looking for a reason to be critical. I'm not. I just think for the country's sake, there's too much on the line right now. I think there are two very clear directions that this country can go coming up on November 5. And for me, I'm just sitting here and saying, I want to make sure that that direction is the one that I vastly prefer on the policy front. Brian's in Lee Summit. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Pete. I just wanted to chime in on the Ohio situation with Trump. I think it is funny that he's making light of it and the whole thing turned into a meme, but I think there is a positive spin to him actually going. Because, I mean, people within that town, imagine actually being from the town and then you get turned into a meme. Him actually going there shows that he cares enough to at least speak to him face to face instead of them just being the punchline of a joke. So that's just my thought on that.
Yeah, and listen, I respect that, and he's obviously done that very well to millions of Americans. But, I hate to say it, but all that matters is winning. And making people in Springfield, Ohio feel good is kind of irrelevant to winning. Mike and Leewood, go ahead, Mike. You're on KCMO.
Yeah, Pete. Hey, I don't know that it's necessarily irrelevant. I think when you talk about a lot of areas across the United States that are conscious of immigration and that, I think going to Springfield just kind of demonstrates how that city of 60,000 overrun with 20,000 Haitians over the last couple of years, that can happen anywhere and everywhere, and it really is, and that's the bigger issue. That's their narrative. I think he's probably going to want to draw out and tell America, hey, look, this is a microcosm of what's happening policy-wise, and this can't happen. And here's examples of people talking about that. Mm-hmm. Get rid of the cat narrative and all of that. That's stupid. He's got to change the narrative. If he does it right, it is
okay.
A plus.
I could see that there, Mike. But let me ask you this honestly: do you think they can make that trip without falling for or bringing up the cat duck narrative?
Yeah, well, that's the problem, Pete. And yeah, you're exactly right.
That's what I'm saying.
That's going to be the tough job. You're exactly right. That'll be the tough thing.
Yes.
But we'll see what happens. See how good he is and his staff is in turning this narrative.
Yeah,
so I hope he does.
From your lips to God's ears, Mike. I'll say that much, my man. Okay. On the text line, Pete, as a liberal, I'm grateful that you are not working on the Trump campaign because if he took your advice, well, Kamala Harris would lose this election. Okay, well, I'm just saying this much. If he's going to make the trip to Springfield, man, oh man, we better get the Lion King memes. That's all I've got.